nice to be able to pick Harry Buteman in that midfield again for a few years.
Yeah, 6 years absence. You know, we brought him in specifically because we know the engine that he's got and what he gives to us as a team. He's a great character, and him and Eastman together are a real, you know, that's a real mobile too. And what we picked up on in the last sort of 6 weeks is that Kenny really does well in that, just in that slightly rolling behind in the sitting role. Very, very clever player, Kenny Davis. So whilst Kenny might go a bit unnoticed at times, the three of them together, that was the thought. And you know, we were very pleased to get him and Bolonara back, both on 2.5-year contracts as well. So you know, I think the club's, you know, the club now is in a strong position in terms of the size of the squad. It gives us a chance to push on between now and the end of the season. And you know, I'm over the moon to get both of them back. It's a credit also to the club that both of them wanted to come back. You know, the fact that Harry's been away and played league football, and Tom, and yet they chose to come back to us, probably says a lot about the football club as well. Yeah,
is he sort of can you see the improvements that he's made in that sort of time he's been away? You know,
yeah, I mean, he was a good. No, he was clearly a good player when he, you know, when he left, and he's played League One football for Peterborough, you know, and League One for Northampton, and now obviously League Two for Stevenage. So, you know, he's coming here to try and get back into league football. Now, whether again that's being with us and does it, or he plays well enough again, because we got a habit of getting older players that are out of favour for whatever reason, you know, making them feel good about themselves again. And there's no reason why Bolonara, you know, and Buteman couldn't go back into the Football League. The one thing that, you know, that probably is a surprise to everyone is they could end up doing it at this football club in their 2.5 years that they're here. But if they don't, you know, we'd give them the opportunity to go back again if they can recover their form.
You say about that midfield three, and that they really sort of were strong, particularly early on, weren't they? You could see them really sort of got hold of the game today.
Well, Eastman's an outstanding player. I mean, he's been here 3 years, 3 seasons now. He's just signed a new 2.5-year deal, so that'd be nearly, you know, he loves it here. You know, he's had plenty of chances to go to a League Two club, but he didn't see the benefit. And you know, this football club has got a player that loves being here and is probably going to be here for a long, long time. And you know, when you start getting people show commitment for 4, 5, 6 years, which a lot of this team will have done, you know, they grow together, and it's a bond that they've got in there that you never know when they're beaten. They're up against it at times, i.e. not travelling overnight and not training 4 days a week, but their view is that they're good enough to keep winning matches.
You sort of made a little joke there about 2 more points to be safe from relegation, but you are banging this promotion there.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to say we're not, because we are, and it would be disrespectful to the players if I said that, you know, we're not banging there. There's, I mean, what's that, 16 to go? 16 games to go. You've got probably 8 of those to do between now and the start of March, and we need to be in and around it, you know, at the start of March, because that's when it's a marathon this season. And the old, you know, you then start looking at March, it's more like 800 metres. Come to April, you know, you need to be on the bend. And if we can be on the starting line in March, with probably about 8 or 9 others, then that is a fantastic position for us to be in. No one's going to walk away with it. No one's going to be top in March and have walked away with it, not even Tranmere. I still think Tranmere will win it. With the depth of squad they've got and the quality they've got, but it's a real credit to this league. There is 8 or 9 sides that feel that they've got enough about them to give it a go.
And credit to your team as well that you're in it as well, because maybe people would say earlier in the season that you'd fall away or not be keep going, but you know, you can't be ignored at all, can you really?
No, and I think again it's great credit to the club, the chairman. You know, that they took the view that, you know, I think you've seen around the ground today, we spent a lot of money, almost, you know, a big percentage of the FA Cup money on the ground improvements. That includes paying the pitch off, you know, it includes paying everything, the new floodlights and new dressing rooms, but what we did allow for was enough money this year to make sure we didn't have a problem with the second season syndrome. And that money's allowed us to improve our budget. It's still a mid-table budget for this league. It's not top of the table, it's certainly not bottom either. So we are punching above our weight in terms of our budget, but it's a good enough budget to compete. And so the chairman's allowed us to do that, taking the view that the lads earned the money from the FA Cup, and it was right to give them as much help this year as he could give them. You know, obviously, and we're benefiting from having a squad now of 20. As someone said to me, I think they looked at the bench today. There's 3 or 4 that never got in today, or 2 I think that didn't get in today. The 2 were injured. but we are up to 22 now. We've never had that at this club. I've normally worked off 17, 18 with having to bring loans in, and we've always had 5 and 6 injured, always. So if we get 5 injured now, I've still got 16. So it makes a huge difference, and it also adds competition as well.
They say 16 games to go though, and it's all sort of in front of you all to see what you can go on and achieve as well.
I think the massive thing here is there's zero pressure to go up, and I mean that in a positive way. You know, there's about 8 chairmen who are desperate to get out of this league, and ours, you know, rightly would love to do it, but isn't putting any pressure on us to do it. You know, because we feel the National League's a great league for us, and that puts you under pressure. We're under no pressure. You know, at the end of the day, if we finish 10th this season, that's a great season for us. If we finish first, that's a great season for us. So there's no pressure on me. I don't feel any pressure. I don't need to. I think that you transmit that over to the players, that feeling of calmness. And like I said, you know, it's a bit different when your chairman's actually telling the press that you've got to go up this year, or you know, and that's affected the likes of Hartlepool and Leighton Orient and you know, big teams with big budgets that aren't at the moment aren't in the race. And I think this year is the unusual one. It's a bit like Leicester City winning the Premiership. I think this year could be the unusual one. You know, where even the second team that gets promoted won't be an obvious one. I think Boreham Wood have recruited brilliantly. I think Boreham Wood are going to be right up there as well. Always a big, strong side as well. Got some great pace on top. So
experience in there as well.
Yeah, and I think Luke's again. You know, Luke and I are probably shopping around the same sort of areas of budget, and I think they're another club that I'm putting right up there as being there or thereabouts.
Definitely top man. Appreciate that.
All right, boys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.